and tell us about the Barbados reality. Good night, Miss Weeks. Welcome to Partner Draw TV.
Oh, wow. Good night. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, Miss Weeks, what is happening in Barbados? Tell us, give us, talk to the 6,000 odd Jamaicans and let
Yeah.
them know tonight what is
Yeah.
happening.
Well, first of all, let me just say to you, Andre, that you said that your program is not just in for Jamaicans.
Mm-hmm.
Just to assure people, and I'm sure they know that you have listeners and viewers all over the Caribbean.
That's
In
true.
fact, it's a lot of my viewers who said to me, "Call Andre," and you were on my show, I think twice before. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
2 times that you were on the show, and I want
Mm-hmm.
to commend you for the work that you are doing in this space, sir.
I'm trying
Really,
my best.
repeat.
I'm trying my very best.
Yes, you're doing a fantastic job and you are encouraging a lot of us. And it is for that reason why I said, I think your viewers would need to understand what is happening. Because if what is happening in Barbados happens in Jamaica, your
Mm-hmm.
show would be at a disadvantage. You probably would have to shut down your show, Andre, because
Oh,
because I'm thinking that a lot of us over here will have to do the same. Now, we're talking here about free speech.
before we go there, can you introduce yourself to the public tonight and let them know who is Marcia Weeks in Barbados?
Yes, Marcia Weeks. I have a show called the Marcia Weeks Show
Mm-hmm.
that is aired on Sunday, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 o'clock. I hope I didn't say too much I can add because we don't, I mean, it's a different time from your show. And
Mm-hmm.
what we do on that show, Andre and viewers, we present another side. So in Barbados, there is well, for a good while, over 5 years, no opposition, as you would know. That
Meaning no opposition, there is no opposition member in the parliament.
in the parliament, except for a couple months ago, one of them crossed and became the lone opposition. Okay, the lone Ralph
Mm.
Thorne. Now
So
there
Mayor
are
Mottley has how many MPs?
29 out of 30.
Wow.
And for over 5 years, I mean, we had she had 30. In her first term, one person crossed. Okay. In the
Mm.
second term, one more crossed. And we are so happy for that. But because I don't know if Jamaica's ever had that occurred before with no one, no MPs in opposition. Nobody.
We have never had that, but we have had a where we have had where in past times where the opposition never contested the elections.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it's a difficult situation. So try to imagine. I watch your show and I see how the opposition right now is fighting for Jamaica and speaking up against laws and so on, right? I
Mhm.
watch your show and I see that. Can you imagine in Jamaica, if right now, with what is happening in this government in Jamaica, if there was no opposition? Think
Mm.
about it. Think about it. So we are in Barbados, and as much as the world loves Mia Mottley, the reality is that because we do not have, we do not have a strong opposition, then a lot of bills are passed,
It's
Andre.
not a strong opposition. You don't have an opposition at all.
At all. Well, we just had the one person that crossed. So what we have been doing with our show, we've been saying to Barbadians, we're saying to Barbadians, listen, let the people be the
Mhm.
opposition. Let the people, let the voice of the people become the opposition. We have a saying that we use on the show. We said, the voice of the people is the voice of God. And so we have
Mhm.
been calling on people to speak out. I see in your comment section somebody says that I sound Jamaican. Yes, I am Jamaican.
Oh, so you're Jamaican.
Yes, I'm Jamaican. Right? I'm Jamaican, and and surely this is one of the things that's happening here. Is that we in Barbados, what we feel is a lot of fear in the community, in the country. There's a
Wow.
lot of fear of victimization. So I want you to try, because when I talk to my Jamaican friends and relatives, it's hard for them to conceive it. It's hard for them to understand it. But there's a lot of victimization a lot of fear of marginalization and intimidation. I myself have received threat because of my show. I've had
so you have been threatened because you are the opposition to the government.
Correct, because we are calling on the 260,000 people in Barbados to oppose, not for opposing sake, but to oppose so that we do not live under oppression and in a dictatorship. And it's important because you know, we are here, you know, many times we're here and we hear of bills, Andre, and a bill that, for example, let's take for example, you've heard that we became a republic, right?
Yes, you became a republic about 2 years ago.
Yes. And we became a republic, and we were promised because listen, everybody believed in this government. You know, they voted.
Everybody believes in Mia Mottley, and so I too, I've had a deep admiration for Mia Mottley.
Yes, so I'm not here to crush that. I'm just telling you our situation. Okay. Now, what happened with that? We were told that there was going to be a referendum where the people then would, you know what a referendum is.
Yeah, where the people must decide how the government and the constitution.
Yes, and this, what happened was that we became a republic and there was no referendum.
Wow, repeat that.
There was no referendum. The government with no opposition, remember we have nobody in opposition, went ahead and made us a republic. Now, it's not that, I mean, I'm all for the republic, you know, you understand?
But the people never get the chance to vote for the republic.
No.
Well,
they did not get a chance, Andre. They went ahead and they made Barbados a republic without the people having a chance to say what they wanted. That's a fact.
We're facing a similar situation in Jamaica presently.
And you know, and this is why I thought it was necessary to come on, because I'm watching what's happening in Jamaica and I'm looking at the whole thing of free speech, freedom of expression, and really controlling, having some kind of mechanism to control the powers that be. You know, there's a saying that power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. And so we are seeing that kind of absolute power in Barbados. And I mean, as
absolute power, you would correlate it to dictatorship.
That is what a lot of our citizens, because of what we feel, Andre, we live here. I know you see a prime minister that is smiling all over the world and doing and traveling, and she's an excellent speaker. She you know, when she opens her mouth, she could command attention, and she, you know, she's very good at networking, as you can see. But the reality is of where we live, there is a lot of fear and intimidation. As I said, I have been threatened. My co-hosts, they have, and some of our panelists have received letters as well. There is a Jamaican lawyer. I want to say this, and I really need to get into the cybercrime bill, but I kind of setting it up for you, Andre.
You're giving the full context tonight.
Yes. There is a Jamaican lawyer. I can't call her name, a young lawyer. And in the middle of COVID, it was, they were pushing a lot here in Barbados because our government took on everything hook, line, and sinker with this thing. Yes. All right. And over 70% of our population was joked. I can't say certain things on your program. I'm aware of that.
They took the job.
Yes, they took the job. And so what started to happen was that the employers were saying to Barbadians, unless you take that thing in your hand, the job, then you cannot work. You're going to lose your job. And this lone Jamaican young lady started the campaign, and she was later followed by one of our union representatives here, Caswell Franklin. But she had her voice, we heard her voice first. And she was telling Barbadians, no, that's against the law. And she stood up to the prime minister. And all of that, they had to push it back. And do you know that she started to get threats and decided, we didn't hear from her for a while. And
Wow.
when she heard about the fact that I was getting threatened, then she contacted me and she said, Marcia, do you know that's exactly why I have not opened my mouth and said another thing in here? People are scared. And so this cybercrime bill that they are seeking to pass through, we didn't even know, because remember, because
there is a cybercrime bill in Barbados to be passed.
Yes, sir. There is a cybercrime bill to be passed, and this cybercrime bill is, I mean, it is so draconian, right? Let me tell you about it. There's a section. First of all, let's say that cybercrime, having a cybercrime bill is important. There are particular areas that this cybercrime bill addresses, which is important. They talk about, bullying, cyberbullying, pornography, defamation, and so on. And it's important. It's important that this space, becomes a safe space that you and I work in. So we're not against that at all. However, you know how it is with bills. They stick some other things in there, right? So sections, starting from section 19 and down to 23. Section 20 of the cybercrime bill says that if you do make a post, or if you did your live, Andre, or I do my live, or anybody here do anything, on social media that causes annoyance. This is, I'm reading from the bill, Andre.
Put it up, producer. Put it up.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Annoyance. Viewers, I want your viewers to look at this.
They're listening, man. They're listening, because our cybercrime bill coming up shortly. So
there you go.
I want the opposition of Jamaica to look at our cybercrime bill shortly too. So let us see what the cybercrime bill is saying in your country.
Annoyance, inconvenience, danger, obstruction. Okay, some of these things make sense, like the danger, right? Embarrassment. Who is going to determine embarrassment? What is, insult? If you insult anybody on social media, any kind of humiliation, any kind of anxiety, any kind of emotional distress, right? We will be fined $70,000.
Wait. Your criticism of the government is not allowed?
Not allowed. Now, that is the commentary. Just let me clarify, that particular line is not in the bill. That's the commentary of whoever created this post, okay? However, it is fair to say that if I went on my show, or if anybody in Barbados decided to write something about anybody in government that they cause them to feel annoyed, right? Or they feel embarrassed by it, or they feel insulted, or it makes them anxious, or any kind of emotional distress, all right? You could be fined $70,000 or 7 years in prison. So this is a criminal thing.
70,000 Barbadian dollar.
35,000 US. Okay.
35,000 US. Mighty God.
Yeah, and 7 years in jail. Okay. Or 7 years. So it could be 70,000, it could be 7 years in jail, or it could be both. All right. Yes, sir.
Is this me and Mottley going on with?
This is what is facing us here. And so there's been a lot of, we've staged a lot of protest marches, Andre. We have made a lot of newspaper submissions up to this Sunday. The traditional radio here, Starcom Network, they had a panel discussion, and everybody's worried about this, but people are so scared, Andre, to speak up. Even our marches, people don't want to come up because they don't want to be seen out there. They're scared they might lose their jobs, because that has happened. Okay. So we've had social media commentaries happening, and because of our marches, it was moving along so quickly. They passed it already in Parliament, so it was now going to the Senate. Okay. And because of the people, we went out and we marched and etc. And then they said, okay, let's have a joint select committee and have submission. So we had people submitting, even people from Barbadians who were in the diaspora, because they claim that this bill has the power, Andre, listen carefully, to reach into the diaspora.
What you said?
And if somebody who's a Barbadian in Brooklyn, in France, wherever, and says something that causes any of those,
any harm, annoyance. So you're saying that Mia Mottley says she can pull them from the diaspora and carry them, extradite them to Barbados to prosecute them?
Correct.
What kind of bang around this? Marcia, look like you really want me to set a rat trap for Mia Mottley.
I need you to set one. Set a rat trap, please, because Jamaicans, listen, let's give Mia Mottley her flowers, okay? This woman is an excellent
she's an excellent orator. She
it.
knows how to command, respect, and speak about the small island development states and talk about the interest of Jamaica, the Caribbean and Barbados. But I never know that Mia Mottley was a dictator like what we're facing in Jamaica.
Trust me, you don't even understand the half of this thing yet. I will tell you, one of the reasons why we are so concerned, even when you think about the church, if the church, Andre, you're a spiritual person, and if you were to quote a scripture, supposing you came on Facebook and you quoted a scripture, and the scripture caused somebody to feel annoyed then, or to feel embarrassed, you're going to tell me that even the people who are speaking the gospel, speaking the Bible, that they could be they could be fined 70,000 or 7 years in jail if somebody decides.
So you're saying that the civil society in Barbados, the judges, the community groups, the churches, all silent and Mia Mottley doing this?
Well, I would say the churches are very silent because again, victimization, all kinds of different things. However, the bar association now is all the lawyers in Barbados. What they have done, they wrote, made a submission to the Joint Select Committee, and they this, I'm just going to read, so because I'm not a lawyer, I just want to read just a little excerpt there, and I think you might have it too. But it says the committee concludes that the level of debate and interrogation of this bill to date has been inadequate, given the very serious power which is being vested in the state and in private individuals in matters protected by the Constitution. That is to say, the rights to privacy and expression. Unless amended, the bill will inevitably face challenge in the courts. This is what the Law Reform and Legislation Committee of the Barbados Bar Association is saying. So what we are concerned about as citizens, the lawyers themselves are concerned about it. And so what you're not getting, though, it's, like in Jamaica, where you would have, the lawyers will come out, they're going to speak. I watch your show. I see what goes on your show. I'm a big fan. We don't get that kind of thing. And we would love for more lawyers.
You don't have that freedom of expression in Barbados.
There is a lot of fear in the country. There's a fear of intimidation by the government, a lot of fear of people like me. I went, you do a lot of investigation. And so, I went, and in Barbados here, there was the government is selling off a lot of our agricultural land to—
What you say, the government doing what?
Selling off a lot of our agricultural land.
That sound like a wagwan in a Jamaica, yeah.
To white developers. And so I went to do a little investigation. And do you know, Andre, that they had, I don't know who it is, I can't say it's a government, but I was being followed.
You were being followed when you were doing the investigation?
Yes. And I'm not the only person. There's another gentleman who eventually had to leave Barbados. His house was firebombed.
Firebombed in Barbados?
I'm telling you what it is.
You're saying tonight that somebody was doing an investigation in Barbados. The pretty Barbados that so many Jamaicans and people across the Caribbean admire. And his house was firebombed.
Firebombed. Actually, in his case, it's not that he was given an investigation. He decided that he was going to bring a case against the government. Okay? The man had to leave the country. He's now living in the US and can't come back because they have decided that they're going to silence him. And that's what they're trying to do with me, with the threats and all the following and the trailing, you know, all the things that they're doing. And even with the church, there is such a silencing. They're seeking to silence the church. There is, I don't know if you know, Andre, in Jamaica, there is a Praise Academy of Dance. Have you ever heard of them?
Yes, Praise Academy of Dance. I know about it.
Wonderful. Excellent. Pat Noble is the director of that. In Barbados, there is a Praise Academy of Dance, and I'm the director of the Praise Academy of Dance in Barbados. And we made a presentation, Andre, at our NIFCA, which is like your JCDC, right? And we do that every year, just like Praise Jamaica. We win a lot of awards, etc. And our piece, Andre, was called Speak Life and was based entirely on the Bible and on science. And the piece was saying, not discriminating against anybody. The children were saying, I am a boy, I am a girl. Okay? And they were saying, I am a boy, I am a girl, God made me, I am lovely, I am wonderful, I am not transgender, I am not anything, I am who God created me to be. Andre, you know what happened. No, we're not talking about big people, because big people can make up their mind how they want to live their life. I'm not getting into that. I'm saying we have children that we're a Christian art school. Do you know what this government did?
No.
To the Ministry of Culture?
No.
They disqualified the piece and banned it from the production, from the competition.
Wow. So even the children don't have a right to make an expression in Barbados?
Exactly.
So you said they ban the expressive piece of art?
Yes, they have. It's all in the newspaper. It was carried in newspapers in the US, in the UK, and we've now brought a case against the government because our freedom of speech and our freedom of expression is under attack in Barbados, and we need the world to understand that.
No, I want you to say it again, Master Weeks. You're saying that your government, the children were doing an expressive dance piece.
Yeah, and dance and acting and singing.
Dance, yes. So it's like, yes. And you're saying they said, I am a boy, I am a girl, I don't want to be transgender. Yes. And you're saying that was banned in Barbados?
Yes, yes. And I actually, when your show is over, Andre, I will send you the piece. And we are actually going to Trinidad in a couple of weeks to do the piece in Trinidad. And our case has been taken up by lawyers in the UK, everywhere, because they know that this is wrong, what has happened to us. And we are sounding a warning. We're sounding a warning throughout the Caribbean region. And I know your show is listened to by lots of people throughout the region. Be careful. Have your eyes wide open, because they are coming to take our freedom of expression, our freedom of speech. They have done.
So Barbados is the guinea pig.
Yes, you got it.
So Barbados are the guinea pig, and then it will launch in the rest of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Hey. No.
All right. Partner draw. Andre. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. In the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap.
Jamaica. I want to hear again Jamaica, because it's one carry common. What happens in Barbados happens in Trinidad. What happens in Trinidad legislatively happens also in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Because if you're not aware, Jamaica, the said cybercrime bill that Marcia Weeks is speaking about is also being discussed, being tabled in Jamaica's parliament presently. It has not been shown to Jamaica. What they have done, you have been hearing suggestive arguments about defamation and social media and what is plausible and what. But what Marcia Weeks is telling you right now is that it's all being echoed. And you see what them say, if put it back, producer, put up back what the 70 talk large. And me did say me did want to go live a Barbados. Me and Mottley, me not coming.
Listen, Andre, I want people to, and this is one of the reasons we wanted to come on. But I didn't even know that it started in Jamaica because they have it in Guyana. And in Guyana, Andre, a talk show host like yourself was locked up only 2 weeks ago. He was locked up because, you know, like you have people call into the program. Someone called into the program and said something about the leaders in the government.
Yes.
And they felt that they were not happy with what the person said. And they didn't even go to find that person who said it, you know, Andre. They locked up, the producer was locked up in Guyana, so the Caribbean better wake up and better understand what is going on. You understand?
So in Guyana too with Ali.
Yes.
President Ali.
Yes.
Oh, so is a one government movement.
You got it. Andre, you're smart. You're smart, you know. You're picking up. And Ali
it's a Caribbean agenda. It's not a Caribbean agenda in Jamaica. They all signed to an agreement, you know. You remember when such man did go at the G7 summit? Who did remember when such man did go at the G7 summit? But apparently, Jamaica, what is happening that many of you are not aware of? He was given the task to make Jamaica be the first, but it is delayed in Jamaica. And remember, it's a world order agenda in Jamaica, people. It's a world order agenda. But Jamaica was to be the guinea pig.
Yes, you got
Let me tell you what Jamaica was to be the guinea pig with. Jamaica was to be the guinea pig with the cashless system. Who remember Jamaica? Them come with the Samoa agreement. Who remember? Me I telling everything, you know. The cashless, the Samoa. Them come with the CDC recommendations about getting to know your numbers. Only hear about that campaign they know your numbers, what your health status is. Who know about that? Them come, Lord Jesus, me no want them start for me, you know. Them come with the needs. Assure Barbados have for them national identification.
Oh yes.
Agreement too, what them pushing. So it is a canopy of so many things that they're pushing on people, not just in Jamaica, but it's now a Caribbean thing.
Yes.
And it is being propagated Jamaica. And to everyone who is listening to my voice tonight through the World Economic Forum.
Yes. Andre, you understand what is going on, because I want to say this. Andre, I want to just commend you, because a lot of people don't get it, but you understand, and you understand why I would want to come on the show to warn the Caribbean. Listen, in Nigeria, there was a young woman, okay, who went on social media and said, I bought a pasta sauce and the sauce doesn't taste good, it's too sweet, and this will give you diabetes and so on, you know, or we would say, would you believe, because they have just instituted their cybercrime bill.
Yeah, the cyber is a big thing now, the cybercrime bill.
Yes,
it's
Andrew.
a big thing.
Yes.
Big Jamaica. I'm going to make sure we go through this cybercrime. Remember tomorrow, Jamaica. Should be tabled in our parliament tomorrow. And a lot of people, if you see, I might not be a friend to Mark Golding and the PNP, but I am asking the opposition to clearly assess what is being tabled tomorrow in the cybercrime bill by the Prime Minister and the JLP. Because if what is being said happening in Barbados, the apple don't fall from the eye. Me nervous now.
Yeah, it is. Our freedom of speech, our freedom of expression is under attack, and Barbados is a guinea pig. They have taken hold. That's why you look and you see what is happening with our Prime Minister. She gets all, although we are tiny, we're so tiny, she gets all
of the money. Uno get all of the money. Uno get all of the development.
Yes, because we are the ones.
Sometimes I wonder why everywhere she go in the world, she gets so much things. But now I understand.
You understand now. But let me finish telling you about the Nigerian woman. Do you know, Andre, that under their cybercrime bill, that woman was at her house relaxing after she made the post? Do you know police came to her house and arrested her? I'm telling you facts. If you think I'm making it up, all you have to type in Nigerian woman
arrested for pasta.
For sauce, right? It could have been the sauce or the jollof rice or something, tomato sauce. And that woman was charged now, because she said something that someone, the owner of that particular business, said, "Oh, well, I am offended by this." Okay.
Wow.
And therefore she was charged. You could go and look it up. It was on CNN. I have the clip right here looking at. It's a real thing. And they were not vigilant. No, the Nigerians were protesting after the bill was passed. The bill passed and they didn't realize, because in that bill, Andre, it's stacked with a lot of good sections and subsections that deal with issues that are important in terms of cybercrime. You see? But then they stick things inside of there. They pad it with other things that they want because they want to shut down the opposition. A bill like this in Barbados will ensure that this Mia Mottley government remains in power forever, because nobody's going to want to criticize it. Nobody's going to want to oppose it. Think about it. In fact, one of the meetings, one of the speakers, they had this political meeting, and the young man got up and said, "Listen, that the bill is there to protect the comrades, protect them," and so this is very, very scary. It's very, 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 very scary. I am not sure, if, as I said, I'm hoping that people are really understanding what we're saying, and this does not take away from the fact that Mia Mottley is a fantastic orator. Okay,
well, you can be a fantastic orator and not an excellent leader, But I want to ask you tonight, Miss Weeks, how safe are you in Barbados?
Well, truthfully, not very safe. Not very safe. Not very safe. But listen, I am a woman on a mission. I am a woman on a mission, and I
You spoke about threats.
Yes.
Where are the threats coming from?
The threats, when in those correspondences, it's saying that it's from supporters of Mia Mottley, and that I need to stop I need to stop discussing her on the show. They gave me 2 weeks to stop, and they reminded me that I'm from Jamaica, and that they you know, you know, I won't even
So they
repeat.
remind you that you're from Jamaica. So why are they bringing up your Jamaican heritage?
Well, what they're saying, I know. Let's be clear, because I know my Jamaican people don't jump on Bajans. They really, really appreciate what I'm doing. No, you have those who are her supporters. I'm speaking of. You know, their thing is that, you know, if I was in Jamaica, I would have gotten 2 shots in my head, long time, and therefore they're telling me that I need to cut it out in 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks have come and gone, and I have not stopped. As I said, I'm on a mission, and
Have you gotten any correspondence from the Prime Minister of Barbados?
No, we've asked the Prime Minister to denounce these kinds of you know, this kind of correspondence and these kinds of threats. We've asked the government. Let's say that we've asked the government to do that, and we have not heard anything from them.
When is this bill proposed to be passed?
Well, it's gone through the parliament, and it is going to the Senate. Well, by Friday, they said they're revisiting it. And remember, we have World Cup going on. So it's in the midst of, and that's done a lot in this government. You know, once people are happy and partying and so on, then different things happen. All right. And so it's supposed to be by Friday. And so that's one of the reasons that we're reaching out.
So the feel good vibes happening in Barbados, nobody taking focus into what is really happening in the parliament and the laws being passed.
And also, I would say also because people love Mia Mottley. People love her persona and so on. So they trust her. And you know, and so they you know, until the thing happens, like, so the first thing, as I said about the referendum, is what that shocked people, like, no, could this really happen? Could this really be? But it did happen, and I think from there a lot of people start to watch carefully now. Oh my goodness, this is not good. 30 love, nobody in the opposition, bad. This is bad for Barbados. People are seeing that, and I you know, I see people saying, you know, that they will always love Mia Mottley. It doesn't cause you to stop loving Mia Mottley. I am just here.
So Mottley is him take over Barbados?
Yes, and Jamaica and everywhere.
Mottley is him take over Barbados. Wow, Jamaica.
Yeah. But I want to remember now, I want to say to you, you're into investigation, Andre. You're the best at it. I have to learn from you. You need to check out the relationship between Mia Mottley and the PNP. That's all I would say.
What you said?
Go and check out the relationship between Mia Mottley and the PNP.
I can give you, because I do the research long time.
All right.
One of the vice presidents.
Don't get me in trouble, you know. Don't get me in trouble, you know, because in Jamaica,
I
you live here. All right.
I know about a vice president who is either an uncle of Mia Mottley, who married a vice president of the PNP in Jamaica. And I know from there on that family relations has been connected to the PNP. Am I on the right track or am I off?
Yes. You know, the funny thing about this, you know, Andre, why I asked, I wasn't even aware until I reached out to someone in the PNP, because I remember that you guys fought so hard against SIDS. Is it SIDS? You call it NIDS?
NIDS.
The National ID.
Yes. National Identification System.
Yes. And when that was being done in Barbados, we were looking for help. So I reached out, and I can't say who, but they told me, no, we're not, we can't, yeah, we agree with what you're saying, but we can't come on because we are friends.
The alliances of the which party? The Barbados Labour Party?
Yes.
And the People's National Party, they are compatriots in the Caribbean. Just as how the one where Comrade Ralph Gonzalez St. Vincent is aligned to the PNP and Mia Mottley. So it is an interesting development that you mentioned that. So with that said, I want a lot of people to know tonight that any government that is in power have a particular agenda that them signed to, I want you to learn and recognize tonight, Jamaica, that both your present opposition and the government across the regions. Me not like for talking when me talk.
Because I know that you're I just want people to. I think what it is that my only reason for bringing that up is so that we are very, very conscious of pay attention, Jamaica. We are depending on you to pay attention. Our thing gone, it's like, and we're here fighting. We've had up to 15 marches that we've had. They've called us all kinds of names in Parliament, anarchists. They call us treasonous because we're marching. They say that we're disturbing the public order, and that's all to get people riled up. And that's
so
where
I want to know, of the 15 marches you had in Barbados, what was the compliment? The compliment, the number compliment.
Not Barbados is not. Remember, in during slavery time, we only had one rebellion, if I remember, the Buster Rebellion, in comparison to Jamaica. So Barbados is not. They're not accustomed to a lot of protests
and revolt. Oh,
yes.
So they don't come in much numbers for any protest.
No. But I know that we know the support is there because of the numbers on our show grown tremendously, and we hear it when we go in the streets. So we know that it's there. But a lot of them are afraid. There's a lot of fear in the country, and I know you can't understand that because you live in Jamaica. But there's a lot of fear of victimization in this country right now. They're worried. Yes, so that's why they would not come out. So yes, you have a good crowd, but it's not like in the thousands that you really
so you have like a 10 or 115.
Yes. 10 or 15, what you said?
10 or 15 persons who come to the march.
No. You will get anywhere over, say, probably 200, 250. Sometimes you will. One big time we had about 500. When we did the march that caused them to stop was a big march. And because of that big march against the cybercrime bill, then they held it back, right? Yeah. So so that is so the marches, they do happen, and
if you were to given a chance tonight to have a word with Prime Minister Mia Mottley, what would you say to her tonight?
I would say to Miss Honorable Mia Mottley that when we gave you the vote, you told us to watch you. In Barbados, she said, "Give me the vote and watch me," right? And I would like to say to her that we're watching you, and we're not happy with a lot of what is happening, especially concerning our freedom of speech and our freedom of expression. Miss Mottley, we feel afraid in this country to speak up and to speak out. We feel a lot of intimidation. We feel that we're going to be victimized if we speak out. We want to live in a Barbados where we feel free to speak, free to oppose. That's really that's at the heart of what I would say to her. Ma'am, let us preserve the freedom of expression and the freedom of speech that you saw in government when you arrived.
So it wasn't like this before me and Mottley took over?
No.
And I've said time and time again to many people who listen to my program that without an opposition, without that balance of power, we will find ourselves meddling or harboring the lines of dictatorship. And what Marcia Weeks has just described is similar to what is about to happen in Jamaica, wherein which there's not much call from the government to have a referendum, but as Marcia said, the bill was passed and Barbados is a republic. The people did not decide on it. Is there any similarity happening of that in Jamaica? I just want to ask. Yes, I'm just asking people to know. If there is a similarity of what is happening in Barbados, isn't that the whole constitutional discussion happening now? Now, Jamaica, Marcia has gotten a full detail of the cybercrime bill. The cybercrime bill, Jamaica, is being introduced here in our parliament tomorrow. We have not seen it. We don't know what is in it, but it is in the parliament to start debate, to be tabled and debated tomorrow. I am asking you, if it happening in Barbados, isn't it possible that it can happen in our island, Jamaica? This is call and cause for concern.
Yes.
This is call and cause for concern. I'm going to be vigorously monitoring what is happening going forward in Barbados, because if it is that you're going to be charged 70,000 Bajan dollars, which equates to 35,000 US dollars, you know how much that equates to in Jamaica?
And Andrew, don't forget the 7 years in jail, because even
and 7 years in jail.
Don't forget that, and the bill in Barbados, it's more draconian than the one in Guyana. So you got to be very, very careful about this. And let me say, one of the things that I love, I've been watching what's happening in Jamaica. It's the People's National Party has put up a strong opposition. And in Jamaica, and that's wonderful. And I'm hoping through your call that the People's National Party would get into the cybercrime bill, and I believe that they will, because they seem like a very, very strong opposition. And to really stand up for freedom of expression and freedom of speech of the people of Jamaica. I'm sure that the People's National Party will do that. We have our opposition here, one man. At least they have, how many?
What is the name of the opposition member?
He's Ralph Thorne. Right, Honorable Ralph Thorne. He is our one. The PNP has quite a bit, and I follow.
No, the PNP are 14 to 49.
My God, but still, they're so strong. The 14, they're
and
so
it's
strong.
Not the PNP so strong, it's the bloggers like me and the rest who hold this government to account in this country. It's not the PNP, so because one time we never know, so we have an opposition.
But wow. Well, thank God for people like you. That is standing strong, etc. And I believe that when you speak to the opposition party, they're going to look into the cybercrime bill of Jamaica. I believe it's going to happen.
Well, I'm saying to everybody who has listened, is almost 8,000 persons on this program. And I am saying to everyone who has listened to this program thus far, because I never know is so much happening in Barbados until I did the interview just now. We have gotten aspects of it. It's not all of it.
Not all. We haven't touched the corruption and all that yet, but we're just dealing with and the selling off of our land and or all of that. But we just wanted to deal with the cybercrime bill because of the time frame. It's Friday. So we want the world to know what is happening. In case something happened to me, you know what happened, okay?
Well, I appreciate you coming here, Marcia, and I appreciate you talking about what is happening. But keep us in the know. I'll see if we can schedule an interview with Mr. Ralph Thorne. If you can set me up with an interview with that opposition member, let me know so that we can further the discussion. But thanks again for coming, and we're going to do our part to keep on this issue.